it out. So, right. Tell me again. I wasn't paying attention. No. What am I saying?
Nothing yet. We can cut. No matter what we record, we can always cut. Remember, great things are not written. They're rewritten.
Oh, that's deep.
Also, like, great...
Deep like his ass! Sorry. Hello, welcome to Incomplete Geeks. Hello, and welcome to Incomplete Geeks, a gay geek podcast.
No, if you're going to do it again, you have to wait till I stop speaking so we have a gap in between. Now do it. You can't talk over me because otherwise you get edited. This show is heavily edited, in case you didn't realize. This is our.
Hello, and welcome to Incomplete Geeks.
Oh, I did it again.
But you're on a separate track. I can cut you out.
Cut it out.
Shut
Fine.
up. Hello, and welcome to Incomplete Geeks, a gay geek podcast where we talk about all sorts of geeky things. Sometimes our knowledge is exceptional.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's a little bit...
Incomplete. Why are you laughing already?
That's John. I'm Nick. Oh my god, what am I saying?
You forgot already.
That's John. I'm
Yes,
Nick.
got that right.
We're going to be House of the Dragon our balls across your face today as we talk about Game of Thrones fan theories.
Oh, you got there in the end. That was good. Eventually. You okay?
Does that work?
I don't know. Who cares?
I don't know. We're going to be talking about... I found some fan theories and some fan things to talk about delving back in Reddit. But first, we're just going to talk some shit.
Yes, we got some shit. A fucking siren. What's going on now?
All right, let's just talk some shit.
We got some shit to bring up first. Yeah, we should.
We needed a little bit of theme song for that.
Chatting shit like the chattiest shitters.
Perfect. So you got a geekery of the weekery then.
You realize that when you react with just your face, nobody hears it.
I know.
Also that.
Isn't that horrible?
Probably. Oh, God. It's coming through. Let's start with some minor things. I have 2 things to talk about. I do have 2 things to talk about.
Well, then go! Then talk about them!
Previously on X-Men.
Geekery of the Weekery.
I was waiting for your attention.
Just talk about it. I'm listening.
This is you. First of all, you're like clinkety, clinkety, clinkety.
I'm trying not to...
Looking over there like...
I'm trying to drink off mic.
No, you're not. Nobody wants to hear that. Okay. First things first. Gap? See, we have a gap? The Boys, season 4 finished recently, as of yesterday, actually, and I watched it all. And you haven't watched any of it, have you?
I haven't watched any of it. I just can't. I can't do it. It's too much of the same thing.
Uh-huh.
And too fucking gross and depressing. It just doesn't feel like it's going anywhere.
Yep. I see.
So
I'm glad you said all of that because I have rebuttals to all of that.
Okay.
In terms of it being kind of the same, there's elements that you're not going to get rid of, like you have the... And there might be some spoilers, so if you don't want to hear anything about The Boys season 4, fast forward like 10 minutes, whatever. We don't care. As long as you stay listening. So basically,
don't say we don't care. We do care. Hi.
We do care, but we're okay if you want to be like, no,
We
I
don't
don't want to hear
mind.
anything.
Yeah.
I won't spoil anything major, just maybe light spoilers.
You can.
So you're not going to be able to get away from like the dynamic between, say, Homelander and Billy and Ryan, the kid. There's always going to be that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But in terms of the same as the same, you still got gore because that's kind of the point. You know, I will say that the gore in season 4 is more and more like no.
There's more gore in season 4.
No, actually, it's the opposite. I just wanted to rhyme.
Oh.
There's, I would say that the gore in season 4 is lesser quantity but higher quality. Like the few gory bits, they kind of come out of nowhere. You're like, oh fuck, I didn't see that happening. And like,
Okay, well that's better.
It's done well, and it's not done too gratuitously like it has in previous seasons. So if you're put off by the gore, I mean, you're still going to be put off by it. But
yeah, I'm just like, I watched the first episode, and then that kid with the octopus face kills a lot of people. I'm just like,
oh, the kid of
just,
season, yeah,
I'm just tired of it all. As a format,
you have that, yeah. But that is kind of what the show's about.
Of course,
as well.
yes, 100%. I fully understand that, but I'm like, I think I'm done with it.
The other important thing is the gayness of it. So you got Frenchie, who's got kind of a male lover.
You were supposed to text me if there was any hardcore sex scenes, and you didn't text me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there's no hardcore sex scene, and it's cute when there's like this sort of Frenchie's got some turmoil about this guy that reappears from his past, and so you learn about that. And long story short, it doesn't go anywhere.
It does seem kind of out of the blue. Like all the other seasons, he's been all about him and Kimiko. And then it's like, oh yeah, we're not going to work out. Did that happen off screen or did I miss something?
I think that I don't know if there's anything that is, because I kind of was never so, I don't know, maybe that's just how I watched it, but I was never really invested in Frenchie and Kimiko as a thing.
Not at all.
But not to spoil anything, there is a bit of
just spoil it.
It's
fine.
It doesn't go anywhere. And then they do that thing where when they like in a straight show, they introduce somebody who's non-straight, like because they kiss somebody of the same sex, and then later on in the end of the season, they're like, oh no, they kiss somebody of the opposite sex, it's fine. Like they kind of make that back and forth,
right?
And so you got Frenchie who doesn't work with this guy.
Just say what you're talking about. Tell me what happens. Spoil it.
So like, okay, so Frenchie's basically
because there's like the hot guy that he's gonna like got feelings for from AA, right?
From the Starlight,
from the charity. Yeah. So what happens?
He's called Colin.
Colin.
So Colin.
That's the least sexy name in the world. I'm sorry to all our listeners called Colin. Prove me wrong.
That's fine. I mean, you can have an opinion, but like it's.
So what happens to Colin? What happens with Frenchie and Colin?
Turns out that Frenchie murdered Colin's family way back when. And this has been a secret for a long time, and he just is the inner turmoil. Like they hook up, and you see some body. I think you see a butt. Maybe you see his butt. I'm not sure. But they're like in bed, whatever. And then he's just distraught over it, and there's a lot of kissing. And he finally he tells Colin, like, I was the one who did this, and there's like some proof that he does because Colin was hiding under the bed, and he saw he saw the ankle of the person who killed his family. And there's like some tattoo, whatever. How he never saw this in Frenchie before, so Frenchie shows him. He's like,
he wasn't looking at his ankle; he was looking at his dick. So
probably
it's fair enough.
Preoccupied with penis.
Well, I would be too.
Then it goes. Obviously, he goes nowhere, and he's so distraught he turns himself into the police. Frenchie does, and there's like 2 episodes where you don't see Frenchie at all, and Kimiko is trying to visit him, and he just is like won't accept visitors, and she gets really distraught because she's going through some stuff as well because she's got her background with the Shining Light faction. Who gave her the powers and basically turned into a murderer, which she hasn't forgiven them for. And she meets another woman who just kind of appears, and there's a weird thing. Doesn't go anywhere. Anyway, so Kimiko's got an interesting development, let's be honest, because you see a bit more into that. And then at the end of it, she was like, I needed you, walking me with there, and like, I know it's not going to work between us. I wanted you to be with Colin because you deserve somebody, blah, blah, blah. And then they end up kissing each other in the finale. So it's like, yeah, we flirted with gayness, but not really. Haha, sorry.
It's like we'll have gays, but we don't take them seriously.
We don't want. Yeah, that's not really what
they're not really real. It's just
it was a phase.
It's a little fun fetish phase thing. Okay, I'm not disappointed that I gave up with them then.
But her very, very, very last moment in the show, like the end of the finale, was basically like the big shit goes down in the finale, and then the boys, the group of the boys, they go in their own separate ways, whatever, and then something happens, and
what happens? Just say it.
Oh no! Do I want to spoil it? Fine. So by the end of the season, are you gonna watch it? You should. Okay. No. Anyway, my point is, you probably should watch it if you're into it. But if you don't, if you checked out, it's fine. So basically, Billy Butcher, he's about to die.
Yeah.
He's got this weird sort of post V kind of. He's basically got cancer the whole time, and he starts seeing people from his past, and it kind of by the end of it. The whole series, the whole season is about like what's wrong with him, and by the end, it's like he's kind of got this venom type thing where he's got an internal sort of creature, I suppose, taking over, and he gives the creature his control of his body basically, and by the end of it, just because he's run out of options with Ryan and Homelander, whatever, he can't do it, so he's like, fine, just take over, and they kill Victoria Newman. The
head exploder?
The head exploder.
Yeah.
Because she's about to become vice president.
Uh-huh.
And when it turns out they find out that she's a soup, and so she's like, "This is not what I wanted for my daughter. Can you help me?" And they're about to broker a deal with him. And then Billy shows up and kills her in the end. But what happens is there's a character called Sister Sage, who's like
the super smart one,
yeah. Who she's been planning this all along, kind of thing. And she comes in and she was like, "Look, we did it." It's like rocks up to Homelander, who thinks he's lost because Newman was going to be his ally. Basically they wanted to murder the president, and then she becomes the president and like does all these good things for soups, whatever. But because she's murdered, then Homelander's like, "Oh, we've lost." Sister Sage shows up, but like, "No, we won. Look," and flicks on the news. And she has a recording of him saying, "Well, if you'd killed Newman when I told you to, then we wouldn't be here locked away, whatever." And it was like, oh, so he ordered the assassination, whatever. So they lock him up. And in the U.S., when you lose the president and the vice president, the Speaker of the House ascends to president, and so he's the reliable one that Sister Sage was planning on. Some random. His name is Calhoun. Nobody knows, but anyway, he's like Homelander, loyal to Homelander through and through. And that's how Homelander and Sister Sage end. She's like, "Yeah, we did it," and he was like, "What do you get out of it?" And she was like, "I just wanted to see if I could, because this was fun. See you later, blonde ambition," and like walks off. I was like, okay, well done for her. So then the boys. So you've got Kimiko and Frenchie going off, and then the two people from Gen V show up. Sam and Kate.
I'm assuming not the guy who died.
I don't know. I don't remember who died, but I never
in real life.
There's like the trying to say this really sort of in a if you forwarded by 10 minutes and you're now showing up, forward another 10 minutes. Come back to us. We went further.
I don't know what's going on.
I'm basically telling you what happened in the boys finale. So they capture Frenchie and Kimiko. So they're two. Kate and Sam. Kate and Sam, who are the bad guys from Gen V.
Okay.
They show up randomly at some convention. They're like, "We'll do anything for you, Homelander." And they show up and she's got the power of suggestion. She, like tells you what to do and you have to do it, kind of thing.
I heard a rumor.
I heard a rumor, yeah. And so her ally, Sam, I don't know what his power is, but she's basically like brainwashed him. He's like holding Kimiko down, and she's able to whisper something into Frenchie's ear, and he just sort of like eyes glaze over. He walks off into the van to take away, and then Kimiko, who hasn't spoken the entire show, she just shouts, "No!" Finally, she's like, "No!" Like she's so distraught. She's actually speaking for the first time. So that was quite interesting because of her backstory, which you delve into. I don't remember what happens to Billy. Huey and Starlight get captured by... Oh yeah, okay. Do you remember the episode with... You're getting bored already. They get captured. Anyway, they all get captured in one way or another. The guy with... There's a lot of callbacks to previous episodes, including Gen V, which is interesting in the finale because they all come together. Homelander's making an army, basically. And that's how the final season's gonna go forward, I guess.
See, the reason I can't get on board or I can't stay on board with the boys is like it doesn't seem like it's just so... It's like The Walking Dead, obviously not because that's 15 fucking years and they've got 3 spin-offs or whatever. Like it just seems endlessly shit and doesn't move towards anything. Like the finale has to be Homelander dying and it's taking too long.
Yeah.
Like they make no fucking progress at all. It's just these boring straight guys with no powers and it's completely fucking hopeless, or that's how it feels. I was like, guys.
Yeah. I can see that. I will say that the people that do die in the finale, they have to be the newer people who show up. You can't kill off a main character. Are you getting sweaty?
Sweaty boobs.
You can't kill off a main character like Huey or Frenchie or MM because that would be a big deal. But obviously,
you kill off Homelander and have something different. Anyway, it's good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yay!
I enjoyed it more than I wanted to. And the last thing I want to say about it is basically the whole political stuff. Is ramped up this season, which I kind of really liked. They do random shit like there's a new character called Firecracker who's basically like Jubilee, who's this southern, like does anything for Homeland kind of thing. Gets her own show. They do a special. She's like in the pizza parlor they eat babies, and you gotta watch out for them Democrats. And she gets her own show. And she's like, next up after the commercial, Jewish space lasers. Are they firing space lasers? Like references to real life things, and it's hilarious.
That's just soul destroying because it just
why? Because it's real.
Because it's too close to reality, and
But
they're not getting their
people-
comeuppance. They still win.
True.
And I need my fantasy, my escapism to be a little bit more positive than that.
I suppose
the world's falling to pieces, and
yeah. Well, the finale ramps up to the date of January 6th, where they're sort of, as soon as everyone gets sworn in. I hear the January 6th connection is kind of shoehorned in there because nothing really happens on January 6th. It's just sort of when
a little bit
he gets signed in
heavy-handed.
as president. Yeah.
Well, the fact that they had to rename the finale episode, I can't remember what it was called before, but it was too similar to like what happened to PT Trump.
Was it?
Because
it was called Assassination Run.
Yeah,
And they changed it to finale.
Yeah.
Season finale. Yeah.
because someone tried to assassinate former President Trump.
Yeah.
And apparently that was too similar, so
It was
they had
too
to change
triggering.
it. And they have to have
triggered.
and they have to have like trigger warnings at the beginning of it. And like, we don't agree with political violence at all.
I didn't see that at all. I didn't see that.
I don't know. Maybe it's an American thing.
The funniest thing that I noted was they got Will Ferrell playing himself. He's in a Vought movie with A-Train, very similar to The Blind Side, where he's like training him how to become a good black athlete. He's the white coach to sort of it's really sort of a lot of the show is tongue in cheek, as you know, and there's references to it throughout. And in the very last episode, in the very beginning, like the news, what happens in the news, they're like this new film with A-Train has been cancelled, and they cut to, I think it's Ashley, like the head of Vought, the human head of Vought, and she's like, we just realized that we'd make more money by not releasing it, and cut, and then it's never mentioned again. That was hilarious.
The world is awful.
No, but I was like, oh my god, what a dig.
It's too much. It's too similar to the real world and too depressing.
There was a lot of it, and there's other examples I can't think of right now anyway. But
I need some hope.
I liked it more than I thought it would. And
yes.
Part of that is because I was able to watch it week at a time, as opposed to last season where I watched it kind of five at a time.
A full-on binge would be a bit too much, I think.
Yeah, and I kind of lost track of what was happening
in that
season.
kind of immersive world. That'd be quite a lot.
What else you got?
I got some stuff from Reddit, so I'm trying to kind of keep my finger on the pulse of geekdom. So if you have any suggestions of Reddit threads or whatever that I should follow, please let me know. I just followed the basic ones. So I've saved a few conversation starters, I think.
Okay. Let's do
some
it.
of which are just like talking about it, and then some like questions and things and that sort of stuff. So there's a TV show out at the moment called House of the Dragon, right?
I've heard of it, yes.
So, and it is based on things that happen in a book, which is also like from the same writer who wrote a book of a Song of Ice and Fire series, which was adapted into a TV show a few years ago.
Okay, I think I'm.
So a lot of people are interested in, now that the second show is on, we're excited about the world and the mythology again. So people are talking about other stuff. And there's
This is the second show in that world.
So, well, it's all about the world. So, yes, now that there's two shows in it, there's rumors going around. I don't know if any of them are substantiated, but they've been going around for a long time. A, because it makes a lot of sense. B, because rumors.
I think people love to speculate.
I love to speculate.
And
we have a Gay Geek podcast. This is what we do. I love to
which
speculate.
is what is going to be lost in the future when we all have just almost a bulge culture, binge culture. When you can watch
a little bit of bulge culture.
It's just yeah.
No, it's not that.
But yeah, like when we rewatch shows like Game of Thrones or Lost, because we were thinking about that the other day again. Like you don't have the time to speculate on the previous episode.
The fact that so many shows are going back to weekly release shows that we actually prefer it rather than dropping. Anyway, that wasn't the thing. The rumor is that the next kind of spin-off of the show is going to be about Aegon's conquest.
Yep.
Which is kind of what we all
Is
thought.
that confirmed?
No. Of course not.
Okay.
Not at all.
You know
not
me,
at,
I miss things.
Not at all.
Clearly.
Everyone's talking this. Mainly because a lot of us, I presumed that would be this one, rather than this random point where 2 female leads about civil war. I thought they would do a spin-off of Aegon's conquest.
With Henry Cavill.
With Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Let's be completely honest. When we say it, I'm picturing The Witcher on a dragon fucking his sisters. And I'm on board for that. So...
Let's not normalize incest, though, please.
Shh, it's fine.
It's
okay if they're
It's
hot.
fine.
It's okay if they're hot. So this Redditor, Throne Hunter 86, says, what does the Aegon's Conquest prequel series need to be an absolute smash hit? So what are some of the things... I'm sorry, leaning off to get my drink. What are some of the things that it needs to be careful of, or what does it need to make sure it does in order for it to be a good spin-off and not the Jon Snow spin-off that they thought of, or whatever this other one with Naomi Watts was that they cancelled?
This is the open question to me. What Naomi Watts one are you talking about?
They did one, it was based on
Sorry, that was
10,000 years ago. So before
10,000 years
so
ago.
the the beginning of the
first
the
man.
others and the first and they filmed a whole episode and spent millions of it on it, but
okay.
they chucked it.
Okay. So Aegon the Conqueror, I think you have to in the world of Game of Thrones, we know so little about the doom of Valyria. So I think we have to start at his arrival to Westeros.
Yeah.
And then the doom has to be hinted at in like flashbacks or whatever.
So
that's my first thing.
that's a great, because I am obsessed with that. I really want to see more of Valyria. I think that could work. Someone suggested it once that it could work as an animated series or one of those because of the amount of money it would cost to animate all those fucking dragons. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dragons that you could do a kind of prequel animated spin-off of those kind of weird oh fuck me up the ass, what's it, the
It's a funny thing to say.
Dawn something. Oh,
help me out here. I can help you. What now?
sorry, I'm 4 steps ahead. No, never mind. So all those kind of like Essos old stuff, Yeetie, the blood traders, whatever, all that kind of stuff could work as animated, because then you could be really violent, lots of dragons and all that kind of stuff for more niche people rather than having to make it more mainstream.
I suppose,
It could just be, you guys want more? Here it is.
And you can always say, like, if you're going far, sorry to cut in, but if you go all the way far east, as like with you, who's that? If you go all the way far east to like ET and Ashai and all that, you can do something completely wild and off the charts. Wild. It doesn't have to have anything to do with
nothing.
Thrones,
it doesn't have anything to do with it.
From the world of.
That's why I think animated would work better, because it would kind of like, anyway. So that, whereas Aegon's Conquest is very central to this world.
I don't think it has to be animated. Aegon's Conquest. So
no, Aegon's Conquest needs to be mainstream, and it does. The main thing it needs to get right is the casting. Who the fuck is going to be Aegon? Apart
from
like,
what? I think only Aegon and maybe the sister wives as well have to be big names, because what they've done with.
I mean, only Aegon needs, for me anyway, because I'm a horny slut. Aegon needs to be the hottest, most charismatic, strong-willed, charming character.
Yeah. He's like the center of the show.
He has to be. And he doesn't even like, this is why when I was like, Henry Cavill could be cast, and some of my friends are like, but he's a terrible actor. And it's like, you're not wrong. I like the idea of him being there and not really doing much. He's just the poster boy, which is actually what Aegon is. That it's like so many more people are involved. It wasn't just him. Yeah. It wasn't even just him and his sister wives. So many more people are going to be involved. So you can really flesh out this massive cast of characters. His half brother, cousin, Oris Baratheon, like the formation of House Baratheon, all these kind of characters. There's tons and tons of cool people. The Yellow Frog Woman, fucking amazing. The Martells, all these.
Who's the Frog Woman?
The Yellow Frog Princess, the Frog Princess.
I've not read Fire and Blood, by the way. So I don't know.
One of the Martells. So she resists Aegon's conquest completely.
Oh,
So, but she's like this old fat princess of Dawn. Fucking brilliant.
okay.
Cool. You can make such a cool character. But
yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, he's made such a world,
and none of them need
material.
to. My microphone's flopping. None of them need to be.
Are you wilting?
None of them need to be big names or whatever. But Aegon does. Aegon needs to be the poster child of this invasion revolution, which is, again, that's kind of what the history is. So someone like Henry Cavill, who is such a draw, looks amazing, but the twist could be like, he doesn't do much.
Doesn't do anything.
He doesn't even talk much. Doesn't act much. Like, he does his moments. He has his top off. He does some sexy stuff. Rides around on a big ass dragon, and then most of the stuff is done by his small council, his sisters, all that kind of shit.
Yeah, and there was a lot that his sisters did.
I'm so excited
very
for them
little
to do a
about it.
Visenya. Oh my god, the gays are gonna lose their minds over Visenya
Why?
because she's fucking badass.
Oh, okay.
Because she's so fucking badass. Bless
Was she the
Rhaenys.
favorite one?
No, she's the bitch, and we love a bitch.
We do. There has to be a fair amount of one thing that I think House of the Dragon is doing really well is they're tying in this prophecy that supposedly comes from Aegon, and the one prop that you see in every episode, that cat's paw dagger, which is prominent in Game of Thrones as well, for many reasons. Yeah, no one can see what you're doing. No one can see the motions you're doing, Nick.
But you can. They know what I'm doing.
They know what you're talking about. Yeah. Oh yeah, that part. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I can't. We're not.
No.
We can't go into that again.
Not again. Not again.
Anyway, so
if they do some more of that, that would be fine as well. But I
okay,
think,
so you.
yeah.
I thought that felt quite forced when he's like, it's called a Song of Ice and Fire. It felt
Yeah.
a wink to the audience. It's like, oh.
But then fast forward to, is it Samwell? Samwise. Which one's what? Was it?
Oh my God, Samwell Tarly, Samwise
Samwell
Gamgee.
Tarly. How have we never known?
How have I never noticed
the
that?
best friend of the main character, the main guy,
The
is
fat
called
bumbling
Sam.
best friend.
The fat bumbling. Yeah. Did you not know that? Sam syllable,
Something.
2 syllable.
Oh my God.
Anyway, what?
You were ranting about something?
Yeah, he does. He writes the book in that final episode. He's like, I wrote a book about all this the stuff that's happened, and I called it A Song of Ice and Fire.
Oh my God.
And
I
in my head,
blocked
I'm
that
just-
part out. That's awful.
I'm just envisioning him putting 3 dots above every letter A, just like they did in
God.
Lord of the Rings. Yes, but please no. And you know what, George, if you're listening,
I'm sure he is.
I'm sure you already do this, but just in case you were wondering about it, like, we are definitely, speaking for both of us now, we are definitely in the camp to change the ending for your book. Just when you finish the books,
Oh
just
my
change the
God.
endings. We are okay with this. Do what you have to do to make your story.
Again, not one to harp on about animation because I'm a whore for animation. I think they could animate season
Like,
7 and 8.
redo those
Redo
seasons
it.
again? Yeah.
Get
actors,
Amelia.
Get the actors in to do the voices.
Just do the voices.
Yeah.
So it's not a big commitment. They'll do it in a day.
It'd be,
And animate and fix that fucking ending.
Yeah.
Because then it can be like, well, it's an alternate reality. Like, the books are an alternate reality. Fucking fix that ending. And
Well,
and,
yeah.
and the normies, like the general public, Joe Schmo, will be like, oh, well, I don't, whatever.
Like
That's
what?
not
The
for
way-
you. Like, fine. But us,
well, of course. I mean, like,
fix that fucking ending.
I never thought of it as like a parallel universe, but the TV show doesn't follow the books by the letter anyway. So yeah.
Anyway.
And you can take your time with the stories. You can give Melisandre a better ending. You can say.
Didn't she just like walk out in the snow and plop dead?
Exactly.
Fuck me.
By the way, here's a fun theory. No, I'll do it later. Finish your theory first.
No, because there's like some other. So some of the responses that people have said, like the first one was
Give
like
me one, and we'll talk about it.
It's like, I think we kind of talked about it. Have more main characters than just Aegon and his sisters.
Yep.
The real strength
yeah.
of GOT is like there was so many characters, so you really need to. It's difficult because you need to get people to be invested in a lot of characters quite
Yep.
quickly.
Yep.
Yep. We already love Aegon. We love Visenya. Rhaenys is there too. So you got to make people really care about all of them.
Rhaenys? Is she
That's his other sister.
Oh, I think it meant like the queen who never was, Rhaenys.
Yes, you would think that because they keep using the same names.
Yeah, I know.
Over and over again. So that was the thing. Like, everybody knows that Aegon's like the main thing, and we know the ending kind of similar to this,
Mm-hmm.
to House of the Dragon, Dance of the Dragon. Even if you don't know the specifics of the ending, you know the end result.
Yeah, far in the future after the show finishes.
But you know that there's no more dragons. Because there's no more dragons, so you know that it's because of this. So the good TV making, the good script writing is
how do we get there?
How do we get there? And getting invested in these characters and this journey, and like, fuck, all of this could have been avoided, which I think it's doing really well. Same thing with Aegon's Conquest. It has to be an interesting journey. Like, all we've seen is like those little HBO things that they did for YouTube, and then the book. It's quite obviously a given. Aegon's Conquest, like we know what happens. It's really fleshing it out and making you really interested and excited to see the next part.
And also, like, because Aegon's Conquest is a thing, even in House of the Dragon, it's like 100 and some years ago.
Yeah,
it's shrouded in lore. It's history. We don't know all the details.
Fucking change it,
yeah.
Fucking change it, and have the ending being how it's recorded, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's how it happened.
Yeah, kind of like
that'd
the
be
Bible.
Fuck, but like, exactly. Kind of lift him up, like the recording is like making him up to be this brilliant, perfect person.
But what if he's an asshole?
But what his it was a mess and everything was fucking shit. But the only like 2 people who recorded it were his. Oh.
Yeah, amazing.
Right there, George. Right here. Get John on to be a script supervisor.
Since you're still listening, I would love to do that. You know, I did start back in the day. I started a blog that I wanted to use as like a guide to how to get into the Game of Thrones TV show. Because the people when in its heyday, like season 3, whatever, people were like, oh, there's too many characters.
There's too many characters. Yeah.
I'll be like, let me do this. You okay? Read my little intro blog, then watch episode, then come back to my blog and like I'll give you like a bit of a breakdown kind of thing, just pointing out things, not spoiling anything, just pointing out things that you should pay attention to that will help you enjoy the show more.
That's nice.
I got like 3 blog posts in, and then I was like, oh,
I'm bored of this. This is stupid.
the show is shit.
So another thing. So this guy Trains is the name of the guy who posted.
Trains.
Yeah, that's his.
A guy called Trains.
This guy Trains. That's his handle.
Oh, the Reddit.
His handle on Reddit. I'm giving credit.
I think you meant like a Westeros guy.
Shut up. No, I'm giving credit where credit's due. These are not my opinions. So this guy says something that made me buy into this series is big time. It says the very first episode is an absolute madhouse. So we start with a battle, big, crazy confusion right off the bat. Rather, don't tickle me with this, your grace, my lady, bullshit for 3 episodes. And then something juicy happens, which is what's happened in season 2 House of the Dragon. A different approach being it starts with fucking chaos rather than a slow burn.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on that?
I disagree. I don't think you need it. It would be an interesting approach, but I don't think it's necessary.
I don't disagree, but I fucking love the slow parts. I love when there's a council meeting and they're talking about taxes and we'll move these forces up to the Vale because they're protected. I love that shit. And then when something fucking chaos happens, you're like, it's shocking because you're talking like, we'll move our horsemen here and we need 40 grains of loaf and like, like I love that. And it is an interesting point. If you're going to do this big, everyone knows what it's talking about. Henry Cavill's on a dragon. You don't want to start with like, oh, good morrow, sir. I was like, no, fucking start with Balerion burning someone's face off or something cool like that.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean,
start it with a film. Put it in cinemas. Do an hour, because the episodes are like an hour and a half anyway. Do an hour and 40 film. Put it in cinemas, then on HBO. We are coming up with some good ideas. Would you go and see it?
Absolutely.
How
much story would you put in it? Because the film format is going to be because TV you in the film. Okay, hold on. Listen here, Nick.
Hang on.
Hold on. You're not going to get those slow council scenes.
No, but the first episode is a film that's in cinemas, and then the rest of the series carries on.
But then you're asking people to watch stuff like at the cinema and TV, which we know from the Marvels, people just don't want to do that. Like,
you could watch it in the cinema, but then like 3 weeks later, make them work 3 weeks, not 1 week. 3 weeks later, it'll be on HBO Max, and we'll start the series as normal. And would you watch it in the cinema?
A week after?
No.
After it's been in cinemas for a while, put it on HBO,
and then we carry on.
And then the week after that, have the next episode following on as the story.
Would you watch that? Would you go to the cinema to watch that?
I'm not against that idea.
I would love that. Big screen Balerion, because he wouldn't fit on your TV.
No, he wouldn't. I mean, fucking Vagar barely does anyway.
I think we're fixing things.
We got this.
We've got some great fucking ideas.
Ryan Condal and whoever else is attached to House of the Dragon show. If you're listening,
I think they should be listening.
I want to add something to your comment before about the council meetings kind of thing. I don't totally agree with I get that there's the good to balance the big action sequences. I don't quite like the taxes and stuff. I only like it if there's intrigue as well.
Okay.
If there's shit happening below the surface. Because if you don't have that, then there's not.
I mean, it's very rare that there isn't intrigue, right?
If there's not intrigue, there's emotion. So like the previous episode, I think it was the previous one, when basically it is the previous episode of House of the Dragon, episode 5, I think, whatever, which was very slow.
Yeah, after 4.
After 4, yeah, they just like, yeah, we're not gonna even try to make it, bombastic. But basically, there's that moment where Aemond, the brother, basically takes over the King's Council and becomes the regent, whatever. And then instead of them talking about, okay, this material go over here and how do you do the shipment,
you hear it in the background.
Slow focus on Alicent. Of her slowly hyperventilating.
Losing her fucking mind.
Yeah.
That actress is fucking incredible. Everyone in this show is so fucking talented. They're acting their fucking asses off.
Good for them. I'm very pleased.
Are you a little bit jealous?
Oh, totally.
I should be a lot jealous.
I mean, there's not a lot of... I mean, if I was in Game of Thrones, I'd probably be a star.
You could be Aegon.
I could be Aegon, yes.
You could do a good Aegon.
I could be so good.
I
love bleaching my hair.
Yeah. Yes, you look crazy and good when you bleached your hair. That's good.
Like so too. I think, thank you. Go follow my Instagram at
I'm excited.
Rex.
Yeah, okay.
Gotta get me out there. I'm still waiting for Kevin to call me back.
He's not going to.
Yeah. They're
he's got other things to worry about.
X-Men soon.
He's got other things to worry about.
Yeah, intrigue or emotion, if you want to have those council scenes. But there's always something that drives the story forward, which they've been doing pretty well. And coming up with like interesting character arcs that I wasn't even thinking of, like even Daemon's 2 children that he had with Laena. Or was she called Laena? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like they've got more juicy stuff to do, and I'm loving it. And then you see this, you see Rhaenyra's son Jace and Baela. Like I forget that they're betrothed.
Cousins.
Betrothed cousins, as you do.
And step siblings.
I'm like, oh, where's this story gonna go? Like that's...
Spoiler, not far.
No, don't tell me that. I didn't expect it to, but...
No.
But why? I don't know. Don't tell me. Good, what else?
Everybody dies. So this egg masala says they need to do a full season of preparation, focus on all the kings already established and learn a bit more about them while having some time showing us Aegon and his sisters on Dragonstone plotting their takeover. Mm-hmm. Make us like and respect them more than just all these kings are about to die horribly. So complete contrast of what the previous one was, where we start with chaos, we start with the invasion, having an entire season, kind of like House of the Dragon, of setup. Mm-hmm. To be fair, I watched the shit out of both of them.
Oh, yeah.
I watched the shit out of both of them, just planning their... Because they're like, Dragonstone's like that far, indicate small distance between fingers, from Westeros. So they've been to Westeros. It's not that fucking far before they invaded. So...
What do you mean they've been to Westeros?
So like, the Targaryens will have been to Westeros. They didn't just hang out on Dragonstone for 100 years.
Oh, yeah,
it's like across the fucking water. Of course they've been there. But they've been there, met all these asshole kings, and Aegon's like, yeah, I'm going to take it all. You guys are shit. I would watch the shit out of that.
But when they first flew, after the... Tell me if I'm wrong, Nick.
I'm drunk. I don't know what I'm talking about.
When the doom happens and you have the only 3 Dragon Lord families escaping, they land on Dragonstone. No, there's 3. But the third
Dragon Lord families?
Targaryen, Valerian.
Not Dragon Lords.
But they can fly dragons.
Nope.
Yeah, they do.
Nope. Only if they're Targaryen as well.
Sure, there's one.
Name them. You did say correct me if I'm wrong, and you're wrong. They were not Dragon Lords.
Well...
And the third one? That you made up?
The one that didn't go. There's a third one. I remember reading it somewhere, but they didn't really do anything, or they died off. No,
only the Targaryens are Dragon Lords.
Okay, I'm looking it up.
Only the Targaryens.
If they can't ride dragons, then what the fuck are they doing with Steve Chussaint's bastard children in the show. Corliss's children.
You'll have to wait and see.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say...
His grandchildren are Targaryens.
Because Baela can ride a dragon because she's a Targaryen.
She sure is.
Her dad's a Targaryen.
And her grandma.
And her grandmother, yes. There's no other one. Hang on.
Nope. They were the only ones, and because that's the whole fun of the Doom of Valyria.
The Celtigars. The Celtigars escaped as well. They're from... And there is a Celtigar...
So they're Valyrian, but not Dragon Lords?
They're all... Yeah, and it's like the Valyrians are Valyrian.
But not Dragon Lords. Otherwise they would be riding dragons.
Fine.
They're not. Otherwise they would. Of course you would.
I think there's Celtigar on Rhaenyra's...
Celtigar, that's not a Valyrian name, but there would be Targaryen descendants in the Celtigar family. Is that what you mean?
No. Celtigars have their history on Valyria.
Ah, okay. Interesting. Well, I will Google that later.
I will
I'll learn more about that later. The listeners don't need to hear you Googling that. So that's another thing that could make it interesting. Oh my God, this guy's gone on for ages.
Well, skip it then. We don't have time. Give me another theory.
No, this isn't theory. This is like, okay, so I'm going to skip all the other ones, but this guy does say, other than nailing the casting of Aegon, is representing Balerion properly. Because he's never been on screen, and he's referenced so often in the books and so often in the show. Balerion the Black Drag. Black Dread.
Have another drink.
Balerion the Black Dread, the largest that ever was. Vhagar's almost as big as Balerion the Black Dread. Blah, blah, blah. He is the reference point of crazy-ass dragons. And that is what people are going to be tuning in for.
Yeah.
Showing the scale. Like I saw someone used like a Game of Thrones video game rendering stuff to kind of make their own Balerion and show the size of it. And the fact that like everyone just gets on their dragon, whereas Aegon and whoever else flew, it was just Aegon, Arya, and then Viserys, like has to climb up a rope ladder to get onto Balerion because he's so insanely huge.
Yeah.
That's something they need to get consistent.
Yeah.
Because it's not usually consistent, the size of these dragons. Drogon was growing and we could blame it to that, but like sometimes like you can fly on this and whatever. So the spectacle of Balerion would be a massive thing and would work really well in the cinema.
Yeah, they should consider that. I think they should listen
to us. I just really want to be a dead body on a Game of Thrones show. When they did the Brackens and the Blackwoods or whatever, that fight, and it was just that field of corpses. It's like, that's what I always wanted to do. Just be
like point at
I just want to be a dead body on Game of Thrones, and then Game of Thrones finished. And it's like, well, that dream will never come true. Yeah. And it's back now. And I could have been, that was shot in Wales. I could have done that.
Yeah.
It's a train away. I could have been a dead body. Anyway.
Is it Wales? A lot of it's shot in Northern Ireland.
It used to be, but a lot of the Dragonstone and everything like that, and all the hills and stuff is Wales. Oh. Yeah, it's all filmed in Wales, apparently. Okay, well, this is one that I absolutely agree with. Meg Z Esquire, Sansa Stark, says Meg Zesk. Well, I don't know. I'm sorry. Heavily featured Dawn's refusal to submit and run the whole show as alternating timelines, showing us the conquest, building of Westeros, and their son's reign, the Faith uprising in Aenys and Maegor's 07. Blah blah blah. I shouldn't have read the whole thing. Dawn is the answer. Dawn is the answer to most things because I'm so obsessed with them because they're so cool and so hot. But the fact that that was a huge part of it, and that's how, spoiler, not really, Queen Rhaenys is killed in the fight for Dawn. And there's also this big mystery of why they make peace with Dawn, because Dawn was the last one, only very recently joined the Seven Kingdoms.
Wait, I thought Dawn wasn't in the Seven Kingdoms.
Aegon didn't conquer Dawn, so it was 6 plus Dawn. That whole cat and mouse fight through terrain and all this stuff, and they hit and all these kinds of things. A, and they're sexy. B, that would be really fun because it just shows that it's not just about giant dragons because they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So I fully agree. Featuring Dawn Whether you do it as like a whole thing through or just do season 2 or season 3 is done.
Yeah.
Easily split up. Season
But
1,
do you think we
landing
should do
from
that?
Dragonstone.
Do you think-
Season 2, uniting the Field of Fire. Season 3, Dawn.
And the resistance of...
And that. Easy. Oh, God, I'm getting horny for
Would it
this
be-
show already.
Doesn't even exist, Nicholas. You pull off a whole season about something completely different, or they have to sort of tie in the rest of the show. Like, imagine if season 3 of House of the Dragon was all about Brandon Stark or something.
It's not Brandon. Cregan stuff?
Cregan.
Is he Northern or is that...
I don't know.
It's really bad.
Just as an example.
But I'm just going to... His wig is awful. His wig is unacceptably awful for a show that, like, I think 30% of its budget goes to its wigs. Like, Cregan, that is unacceptable. I need to Google if he's Northern or not.
Oh, if the actor's Northern, you mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because everybody's doing a Northern accent, mainly because of Sean Bean, but also it is set in the North. But the North didn't have...
sense, yeah.
But the North didn't have to be Northern, but they had Sean Bean, who is Northern. So.
Yeah. You can't change Sean Bean's distinct voice.
No, and I
You
think
know.
that... Oh, God, that was such a great idea, getting Sean... Anyway, sorry. So...
I thought he was gonna die. Like, you've done
I
this before.
love it. Oh, what a moment. So, that's Aegon's Conquest.
Okay.
And we basically figured it out.
Yeah, so, I mean...
I think the show writes itself, although we'll write it for you if you want.
We'll help write it.
We'll script edit.
Script
Yeah.
edit.
I think that's great.
Perfect. I'm glad we got our future jobs sorted out once this...
None of these other talking
Once this
points are
podcast is
anywhere
run,
near
it's-
as interesting as this. Like, I don't think any of these are worth kind of...
Is there another theory about House of the Dragon we can talk about?
No, but there's been a lot of kind of talk. This is one that's been I've seen quite a lot, and I think it happened a lot after episode 4 of what it is to be a good mother character. So they're talking about Catelyn Stark being a bad mother. So in reference to when Rhaenys sees, was it Alan?
Yes. Alan of Hull.
Knowing that
And-
it's clearly Corlys's bastard.
Which I didn't get at first, so I love the
No,
fact
I
that
thought
said
she wanted
that.
to fuck him.
No,
I
just
thought she was flirting with him.
I just thought she was... Man, I don't know.
I thought she was
You
flirting with
must
him.
have had a really lovely mother. And I was like...
Your mother
why
must
would
have
you
been
say that?
another comely mother. Yeah.
Fucking weirdo. Oh.
And she is talking about, you got to legitimize him because there's no guarantee.
Does she say the word legitimize?
No, but
Okay,
he should be raised up, not hidden away. He saved your life, and I know who he is, Corlys.
She's
I love Rhaenys.
I mean, it doesn't excuse infidelity if that's the arrangement you have, but also she's very forgiving of that, you know?
It's been a long time, and also she knows she's not stupid. She knows
Yeah.
what could happen.
Yeah.
All of his, he's already lost Lucerys.
He's lost both of his children. so
Both of his
thinks.
kids, his grandkid that was supposed to inherit. The girls can't or don't want, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And one's a dragon rider and she doesn't want it. It's like Rhaenys is like, where does Driftmark go?
Yeah.
And she made a good point of that. So her accepting and understanding, whether it's practical or forgiving, whatever, of this bastard child,
Yeah.
versus Catelyn Stark, who made Jon's life not miserable, but also
I think
very
is fair
miserable and othered,
Yeah.
which I fully understand. 100% would have. Was Catelyn a good mother?
I think it's a good point to point out that Rhaenys is
Rhaenys.
Yeah, I said that right.
What was
Rhaenys is doing it for practical reasons.
Yeah.
Looking out for his house that she's married to.
But also, it feels like I love them, and Daddy Corlys is a big crush of mine. He seems exhausting to be married to. Like the fact that he just disappears to war because he can't, because he wants that. And she's like,
time.
I'm just by myself for 6 years. I'm doing all the work.
In terms
It's
of
kind of probably a little bit like, what a surprise. He fucked someone while he was away for 6 years.
2 people, because aren't those 2 brothers? Adam and Alan are brothers, I thought.
They could probably be twins because he's had twins
could
in
be.
the past.
Oh,
They're all twins.
Laenor and Lena are twins, aren't they?
Yes, they are. And Baelor and Rhaena are twins. So
No, they're not. Bela and Rhaena are definitely. There's definitely an age gap between them.
You sure?
No.
Neither am I.
Because when Lena sets herself on fire,
Because we're not complete geeks.
Yeah, we're working on it.
But Lena and Lenore are twins.
I believe that.
Yes.
Lena and Lenore.
But Bela and Rhaena might not.
But I think Lena did not have twins when she set herself on fire. I don't think so. Anyway, it doesn't matter because I can't remember. Catelyn Stark.
If only there was some way I could find out.
If
but
only we had like some access to information.
I don't know. We'll just never know. Tell us in the comments below.
Definitely treats. She feels betrayed by, which is so ironic.
You've read the books, right?
I've read the 5 books. Yes.
Is Jon older than Robb?
No.
So did they already have Robb when Ned went off?
Yes.
Okay.
But in the books, they're like 15, 14 years old. Yeah. I think maybe Robb might have been 16, but I don't know the exact. Somebody will.
But he was like 14, 15.
I'm pretty sure that Robb is first, and then Jon is younger.
Okay, well that's a big difference
because he goes off to fight in Robert's rebellion, comes back with a bastard child who Ned, through his blind loyalty and to his sister, doesn't tell anybody.
But you wouldn't, and I
for risk of somebody finding out who shouldn't know,
because she wasn't supposed to marry him, was she? Catelyn wasn't supposed to marry Ned. She was supposed to marry his elder brother who got burnt,
who got murdered by the Mad King.
Yeah. So like they're young and betrothed. He doesn't know her. He can't trust that she's not a psycho bitch and would kill his nephew.
Also, that
she would have.
Could have. Like, and then the thing is, like, they grew into a loving couple with 5 children.
Yes, because they spent 30 years. Yeah,
there's clearly no lack of love there. And in the beginning of the books, like, there's a chapter from her perspective, and she's trying to get pregnant again.
Oh God, Catelyn.
Yeah, which is a bit weird, but also whatever.
Stop.
I don't remember because obviously that her ending in the books is different than
something.
She becomes
Stoneheart,
Lady Stoneheart. Kind of an undead thing with
that would have looked shit if they tried to do that.
She can't speak really. Yeah. I don't know if she ever finds out in the books, especially
because do you know in the books? You don't know Jon's true parentage in the books yet.
It's not explicitly said, but it's pretty like the evidence is highly stacked as R plus L equals J kind of.
Okay.
Was that right? R plus L equals J?
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously it kind of was when it was revealed in the show, it kind of proved it, like whatever.
Uh-huh.
So we're all like, okay, yeah. And the thing is, like, because there's such a depth of the nerds who watch the show, like me and you, get into it, and we study all the hints that he drops throughout the books about him, promise me Ned kind of stuff. That's all throughout there, and he has like dream memories of the Tower of Joy where they fought like the last 2 Kingsguard, and then it was him and one other it was Reed. It was him and Reed were the only 2 survivors of Robert's sort of army. Jojen Reed's father. Remember Jojen Reed and Mira Reed who go up to the north with Bran? The 2 kids who follow him into the wood. They're the Reeds. So their father and Ned were the only 2 who knew.
Isn't there a fan theory that one of those is a Targaryen as well? That she had twins, and one of them went with Reed and one of them went with Ned?
I've not seen that theory.
Well, there you go. That's another.
But the theory is that if Papa Reed knew, then he could have told his children. Obviously, Jojen dies, and then Mira is still with Bran by the end of it, I think, so she might know. But obviously, it's kind of revealed by the end of the show anyway. It's not real because the thing is, like, it's written from different people's perspectives. You don't see everybody's internal monologue. So you don't know who knows, and it's all theories and conjecture, which is great.
So the point of this question is Catelyn Stark a bad mother?
in the show,
is she a bad mother? No, first of all, that's flawed because she's not his mother. Whether it's a bastard or a nephew, she's not his mother. So
she's kind of been like, even though he's a bastard, he's been raised in the House of Stark.
It's not his mother.
But she would have felt compelled or obligated to raise him or not. I don't know.
Shove him in the field.
In the show, she does have a bit of like, doesn't she like weave something? She's like, maybe I was too hard on Jon. She's like,
she's like, actually, it was Jon that was sick, and I sat by his bedside, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know if that happens in the book.
No, they're trying to soften Catelyn and make you like her a little bit more. Yeah.
Because they want you to sympathize with her before they kill her off,
and it worked.
So yeah, great. And it was a devastating, obviously, episode. And then she never comes back as Lady Stoneheart. And I don't know what her point is either, because she basically is, I think...
I loved Catelyn.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but she hooks up with the... Correct me if I'm wrong, listeners, but I think she hooks up with the with the Brotherhood Without Banners.
As Stoneheart.
As Lady Stoneheart.
I feel someone said that. Because then she sees, like, Brienne, doesn't she? With the... I don't know. Sorry.
Because Beric Dondarrion is coming back to life. Do you remember these people? He gets slain, and then the Red Priest, I forget his name, brings him back to life. Because he's not dead. The Red God is not done with you. And they do the same thing with Lady Stoneheart. I think even... I don't know if this is true or not. I think he gives his last life so that Lady Stoneheart can live, in a way. So that's how she's with them.
He's green mushroom.
That could be completely wrong.
So cool. Anyway, so the point was, is she a bad mother? Motherhood in general.
Yes.
On the show. Who are the other... Or both shows? Terrible mums. We've got Cersei.
Cersei, yeah.
Is Alicent a bad mother?
I think she...
Yeah, kind of. Yes, she didn't give
mother.
her son a hug when his baby boy was decapitated. She couldn't figure out how to give him a hug. Bad mum.
She has been in service to the crown for her whole life, under her father's sort of directive to get into this, into this kingdom.
I'm a big Alicent supporter. I'm a big Alicent fan. I love her journey. Especially, I like the show version better, where she was young. In the book, she's just Rhaenyra's wicked stepmom. That's a bit of a trope. I like the fact that she's this poor young girl who's been manipulated into and just used to do this. But she's still a bad mom.
I think...
Very bad mom.
Before...
Bad mom!
Okay, fine. Before Aegon II goes off into battle unannounced, she tells him off.
I love that.
And to be fair, she's just found out that she's just found out that her whole understanding of what happened has been wrong. So she's
that was just after Aegon the Conqueror. What?
The Conqueror, you meant.
You stupid bitch.
It's too late now.
You stupid bitch. I love it. I love her.
Yeah, the fact that happened, I thought maybe they would just never address it, but they did.
They had to, because too many people were talking shit about it. I think they had to address it that... Yes, she was given this bit of confidence that, yes, he really did want it. It didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
They would have done it anyway, and she would have done it anyway.
And she says that to Larys as well.
She's like, would have done it, yeah.
It doesn't matter anymore.
And now that matches up. It's like, it doesn't matter. It's too fucking late. Anyway.
So she does that to him, and then when he comes back all bloodied and stuff, and she's actually there at his bedside, feeling something.
Is she, or is she just worried because now Aemond is in charge, and she knows Aemond is a psycho?
I don't know what the order is.
What?
I don't know if that small council meeting was before or after we see her at Aegon's bedside. But then he does...
Bit of both, because there's worry, because she knows that if Aegon dies...
Well, because until the small
because there's no second boy in the show, whereas there is a second boy in the books, she knows that if Aegon dies, it does go to Aemond.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. I feel it's less concern for Aegon than fear for Aemond.
Maybe. I think it doesn't matter the order, because remember in that small council meeting, she thought that she was going to...
Yeah, she thought she could take it. Yeah, because she did it before.
So, yeah.
So, bad mum.
What was the question? Bad mum.
Mum. Cersei.
Bad.
She's a bad person.
Yeah.
A very, very, very bad person. Is she a bad mum?
I think so, yes.
Tell me why.
She does not... She sets up Joffrey as the next king, but in the same way that Alicent doesn't really prepare Aegon for holding this title. She doesn't do this to Joffrey either.
Interesting. Is she a bad mum, or is she stupid?
Maybe
She's
a bit of both.
Delusional in the way that Aegon is. When Alicent's like, do you think wearing the crown gives you wisdom?
Yeah.
Cersei is much more stupid than Alicent. She just thinks well, he's king, so he's great. Is she just stupid? Rather than, it's like, you don't need to prepare. You're born to be king. Maybe.
True. Yeah.
Just this blind superiority complex.
They're going to love you anyway. You don't have to try to be their friend.
No. Ugh. No. just tell them what to do or kill them. That arrogant. Well, that arrogance, the fact that she declares herself queen. It's like, no, there was a whole civil war saying they won't have a queen. She's like, yeah, but I will. Granted, that's a show, not the books, but whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's a bad mom. She's a very bad person and an idiot, which makes it hard to be a effectively good mum.
As two gay men trying to evaluate if you're a good.
But it's interesting. No, but it's interesting. We all have mums, and you have the right to say whether you felt it was a good parenting experience or not. And I think that her focus was always on her kids. All she cared about was her kids. Although she did fuck her brother next to her son's corpse. That makes her a bad person.
Wait, what?
Her and Jamie fucked next to Joffrey's dead body, didn't they?
Oh.
Super rapey. I'm only going by the shows. Books, I don't know.
That was, like in the sort of...
Yeah.
He sort of like attacks her in the
Yeah, he pretty much rapes her. Yeah. That's gross.
I forgot that. She cares about her family.
Yes, but she does care about her kids. She cares about Marcella. She does a good speech about Marcella and all that sort of stuff. I think she's not a good mum. So yeah, she's a bad mum.
She's a bad mum.
She's a bad mum because she's a bad person and an idiot.
Yeah.
So, but she tries, I think, more than we've seen Alison try, frankly. Okay, so one more that I've got, and it's just a meme discussion that we want.
A meme discussion?
Yeah, so it's a meme, and we can discuss, that says, these two are the same character.
Okay, he's showing me...
Aegon is Tyrion. Are they stupid? Thoughts?
Aegon is Tyrion. I don't see it.
Neither do I. I'm trying to find...
I don't see it.
One drinks wine and knows things. One drinks wine and knows absolutely nothing. Which is true. It's like,
first of all, Tyrion was never king, obviously, and he never really wanted to be king. He knew he was always going to be working from the shadows, whereas Aegon is he didn't want to be king at first, but as soon as he got like love and attention from the masses, he was like, oh, okay, so I can do this.
This poster, do you think they're trying to be like they're the person in a bad household trying to do good with what power they have? Because they did seem in the show that they were I mean, the answer is no, but it does seem like they were trying to make it so that Aegon was like, he's not the bad guy, he's a bad guy. Like, he was trying to give the guy a sheet back, and he's stupid, but he's like trying to be nice and like be here for everyone, that sort of stuff.
He also he's not 100 people.
Was it 100?
Someone said 100, but I don't know.
It was several rat people after they killed his son.
Yes.
So it's not like Joffrey, who's like cutting people's tongues out and like burning people and cutting Ned's head off.
Just for funsies.
For funsies.
Yeah.
So, whereas Aemond, can you imagine what would have happened? But Aemond has no feelings. I don't know. The answer is no. They're not the same. Not even remotely.
No.
But the only point that I can think of is being that like they're trying to... They're bad people. Because book Tyrion, is he a nice guy?
Is he a nice guy?
Is he as heroic as they've tried to make out TV Tyrion? Because Tyrion pisses me off, but... I think okay, because he has a bad English accent, and he's the only non-British actor.
True, yeah.
Drinking a new thing. Like, what is that? Peter, can you just... What are you doing? This is awful.
This is a great impression, by the way. I loved it.
Flawless, right?
Yeah.
Put that on TikTok.
I think Book Tyrion is probably my favorite character from the books.
Interesting.
I think he's
Red flag.
What?
Red flag.
He's actually... He goes through a lot more. He's very disfigured from the little slice on the face kind of thing. He's very smart, and he does sort of pull strings in a good way, but he's also a sucker. He's also a sucker to his emotions. So like when he murders Shay, and his father, it's those chapters are from his point of view, and they're like, he just feels like he just has to keep going. He has no choice, but this is what his life has led him to, and he's like, this is the one thing you can't smart your way out of. So. Is he a good guy? What was the question? Is he a good guy?
Yeah.
He's not. I don't think he's heroic at all.
Okay.
He's definitely not heroic. But obviously the book only got up so far. I don't remember if he's even made it to Daenerys by the time the books end.
Okay, so most people are like, no, this is a shit take. This guy says, Aegon from the show and Tyrion from the book share a lot of similarities. Both are villainous alcoholic lechers obsessed with bringing down their sister's legacy. Both have a brother who's a great source.
Their sister's legacy?
I'm just reading what it says. Let me finish.
Oh, okay, Rhaenyra. Yeah, okay, fine. I guess there are siblings.
Yeah. Both have a brother who's a great swordsman and that they trust until they get betrayed. Both are understandable in the way how they got to how they are.
This is a great take.
It isn't a one-to-one comparison, of course, but it isn't like there's no comparison.
I mean,
not bad.
I mean,
but
of course, there's never no comparison between any two things. You can find, you can find differences. You can find similarities between Aegon and strawberry shortcake. If you really tried hard enough.
Is there cake? No.
Is there cake?
We didn't get cake for later, did we?
Oh, here? No.
No.
Oh my god, we have pizza yet.
We have pizza.
Forgot about that.
Let's wrap this up, guys. Let's wrap this up. So it's Game of Thrones fan theories from Reddit.
Let's do it.
That's fun.
From Reddit. If you do Redditor,
yeah.
If you have a specific theory that you think we should talk about, do get in touch. Email us on incompletegeekspodcast@gmail.com or find us on TikTok or Instagram at incompletegeeks. And while you're there, give us a like, follow us. We post fun stuff once in a while.
We'd really appreciate it if you could give the podcast itself a rating, 4 or 5 stars?
5 stars. Obviously.
5. Let's go for 5, please.
Give us a 5-star. It does help.
On Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your podcasts.
God, you've listened to a few podcasts, haven't you?
A little bit, yeah.
We don't do ads. We don't ask for anything. We just love that.
We just want your love and adoration and support from now until the end of time.
Just like Aegon.
Oh my god, are we Aegon?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Are we the rightful rulers of the throne?
We're both
oh my
alcoholics
god.
trying to get rid of our sister's legacy. I don't know.
I find Aegon really hot, and lots of people were like, why? No. Oh, he's really sexy.
No. Kristen Cole,
Fabian is insane. Dornish, again, my obsession with Dornish men.
Yeah.
But no, I find Aegon is my most sexual one from this show.
Aegon, really? I got Kristen Cole, who's Fabian Frankel, and then Gwen Hightower's Freddie Fox. If you've ever seen like Cucumber Banana, those shows, when they're marching together, I call them the F boys. The F boys. You got Freddie Fox, and Fabian Frankel. They're marching, when they're on the horses together.
That's a great story. We apologize if we got anything wrong. We were reading fan theories. We've had a couple of glasses of wine.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're not complete geeks.
Well, we are working on it.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.